In a shocking turn of events, the geopolitical landscape in the Middle East has taken a perilous twist. Russia, a dominant player in global politics, has launched warplanes over the Israeli capital Jerusalem, in a move that has sent shockwaves throughout the international community. This unprecedented action is being framed as a show of support for the beleaguered Gaza Strip, intensifying the ongoing conflict between Israel and Palestine. As the world watches with bated breath, it is essential to delve into the intricacies of this situation, exploring the motives behind Russia's intervention, its potential consequences, and the broader implications for regional stability and global politics. The sudden appearance of Russian warplanes in the skies over Jerusalem has caught the world by surprise. This provocative action marks a significant departure from Russia's previous stance of maintaining a delicate balance in the Middle East conflict. The question on everyone's mind is, what prompted Russia to take such a dramatic step? To understand Russia's motives, it is crucial to consider the geopolitical dynamics at play. Russia has maintained a strategic alliance with Syria for years, which has allowed it to establish a military presence in the region. Syria's support for Palestinian causes, particularly those in Gaza, is well known. Therefore, Russia's intervention can be seen as an extension of its support for Syria and its allies, including Palestinian factions. Another key factor driving Russia's involvement is its desire to assert itself as a major player in the Middle East. Over the past decade, Russia has significantly increased its influence in the region, especially through its intervention in the Syrian civil war. By aligning itself with the Palestinian cause, Russia aims to position itself as a key mediator and power broker in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, challenging the traditional dominance of the United States in the region. Gaza, a small strip of land along the Mediterranean coast, has been a focal point of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict for decades. The region has endured countless clashes, with Palestinians seeking an independent state, and Israel asserting its security concerns. The ongoing blockade of Gaza, imposed by Israel and Egypt, has led to dire humanitarian conditions, making it a rallying point for Palestinian sympathizers worldwide. Russia's decision to launch warplanes over Jerusalem signals its intent to take a more assertive stance in support of Gaza. By doing so, Russia seeks to garner support among Palestinians and other Middle Eastern nations, while bolstering its image as a champion of the Palestinian cause. The international community has been quick to respond to Russia's intervention, with reactions ranging from alarm to condemnation. The United States, a long-standing ally of Israel, has expressed deep concern and called for an emergency meeting of the United Nations Security Council to address the crisis. European nations, too, have voiced their apprehensions, emphasizing the need for a peaceful resolution to the escalating conflict. On the other hand, several Middle Eastern nations, including Iran and Turkey, have welcomed Russia's intervention and offered their support to the Palestinian cause. This growing division in international reactions underscores the complexity of the situation and the potential for it to further strain global alliances and diplomatic efforts. The introduction of Russian warplanes into an already volatile region has raised concerns about the escalation of tensions and the potential for a broader conflict. Israel has responded to the Russian incursion with heightened security measures, including the activation of its missile defense systems and the mobilization of its armed forces. The situation on the ground is tense, with both sides showing a readiness to defend their interests. In Gaza, Palestinian factions have celebrated Russia's support, but are also wary of becoming pawns in a larger geopolitical game. The situation remains fluid, with the risk of an unintended military confrontation between Israel and Russia growing by the minute. The consequences of Russia's intervention in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict are far-reaching and pose significant challenges to regional and global stability. The Middle East, already a volatile region, faces the prospect of heightened instability as a result of Russia's actions. With multiple actors involved and conflicting interests at play, the risk of regional conflict and spillover effects cannot be underestimated. Russia's intervention is likely to strain diplomatic relations between Moscow and Washington, as well as with other Western nations. The United States and its allies may respond with sanctions or other punitive measures, leading to a further deterioration of international relations. The already stalled peace process between Israel and Palestine is likely to face further setbacks. The involvement of a major power like Russia introduces a new dynamic that may complicate negotiations and make achieving a lasting peace even more challenging. While Russia's support for Gaza is welcomed by many Palestinians, it may not necessarily lead to an immediate improvement in the humanitarian situation. The risk of further violence and civilian casualties remains, exacerbating the already dire conditions in the territory. Global implications. Beyond the immediate region, Russia's intervention highlights the shifting dynamics in global politics. It challenges the traditional dominance of the United States in the Middle East and underscores Russia's ambition to assert itself as a global power broker. The Russian intervention in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict has far-reaching implications for global politics. It represents a departure from the status quo and highlights several key trends in international relations. Russia's assertiveness in the Middle East is a clear indication of the growing multipolarity in international politics. As the United States faces challenges to its traditional leadership role, other powers like Russia are stepping in to fill the void. The Middle East has become an arena for geopolitical competition, with major powers jockeying for influence and strategic advantage. Russia's intervention is a reminder that competition for regional dominance is intensifying. The international response to Russia's actions underscores the shifting alliances and partnerships in the global arena. Traditional allies may find themselves on opposite sides of geopolitical disputes, leading to realignment and recalibration of diplomatic strategies. The escalation of tensions in the Middle East raises concerns about global security. As the situation remains fluid, the risk of unintended military conflicts and their potential consequences for international peace and security cannot be ignored. The evolving situation in the Middle East demands careful consideration of the various actors and their interests. Israel, a long-standing U.S. ally, is now faced with a challenging scenario as it navigates the delicate balance between maintaining its security and avoiding a direct confrontation with Russia. The Israeli government has been quick to respond by enhancing its military readiness and emphasizing its commitment to safeguarding its sovereignty. It also seeks diplomatic channels to de-escalate the crisis, mindful of the broader consequences of a prolonged conflict. For Palestinians in Gaza, Russia's intervention is a mixed blessing. While they welcome international support for their cause, they are well aware that their territory's fate hangs in the balance. One of the critical questions arising from Russia's intervention is the extent of its willingness to engage in direct military conflict with Israel. While Moscow has shown a willingness to flex its military muscle, it is also cautious about sparking a full-blown war. A military confrontation with Israel could have far-reaching consequences for Russia, both regionally and globally. Therefore, it is likely that Russia will continue to engage in strategic posturing while leaving room for diplomatic negotiations. The United Nations and other international organizations face the daunting task of managing this crisis. The Security Council, in particular, must navigate the complexities of global power dynamics while striving to find a peaceful resolution to the conflict. The urgency of the situation calls for diplomatic efforts that can de-escalate tensions and provide a platform for meaningful negotiations between all parties involved. The United States finds itself in a challenging position. As a traditional ally of Israel, it must balance its commitment to Israeli security with its desire to maintain stable relations with Russia. The Biden administration has expressed deep concern about the situation but is also seeking a diplomatic path forward. The United States will likely work closely with its European allies to coordinate a response and explore ways to defuse the crisis. The European Union, as a significant diplomatic player in the region, also has a crucial role to play. European nations have voiced their concerns and have a vested interest in preventing the situation from deteriorating further. Their ability to facilitate dialogue between the conflicting parties and promote peace initiatives will be critical in the coming days and weeks. In conclusion, Russia's decision to launch warplanes over the Israeli capital in support of Gaza-Palestine has upended the delicate balance of power in the Middle East and introduced a new dimension to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Thank you for sticking with me all the way to the end. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and make sure the notification bell is turned on so you don't miss a video.